Hi everyone, Stacy Whiter here on behalf of Campus Mortgage with part 2 of a 3-part video series on VA fees, where we're going to go through practical examples of allowable and unallowable fees. Now, just a quick reminder before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice or used in place of VA guidelines. Also, this video was issued on July 31st, 2018, and the information contained in this video is subject to change without notice. We've talked about what fees can be charged to the veteran, and we've also talked about allowable fees. Now let's take a look at unallowable fees. So just as a reminder, when thinking about what fees can be charged to the veteran, the VA has set a maximum, and think of it as categories. So there are 3 categories that fees are going to fall into. So the first category is itemized fees and charges. So that's the first category. The second category is fees that fall into the lender's flat charge, which is what we're going to cover next, and reasonable discount points. So these are the fees that can be charged to the veteran. And it's best to think of the itemized fees and charges as allowable, and to think of fees that fall into the 1% flat charge by the lender is unallowable. Now, that's where it can get a little bit confusing because you have allowable fees and you have unallowable fees. And most people would think, well, if it's an unallowable fee, that means I can't charge it to the veteran, and that's not actually the case. So let's take a look at that. So the lender's flat charge. The VA says that the lender can charge up to 1% of the loan amount to the veteran, and they call it the lender's flat charge. Now, the lender does not have to charge a full 1%, and when we go through some examples, it'll help that make a little bit more sense. But basically what the VA is saying is that any fees that fall into the unallowable category need to be covered by the flat charge, or those combined with the lender's flat charge cannot exceed 1% of the loan amount. So let's take a look at these unallowable fees. Lender's appraisals. Now that's confusing right out of the gate because you have to have a VA appraisal most of the time unless it's a streamlined refi. But what this means is that this is not talking about the initial VA appraisal. What this is talking about, if there's a situation where the lender wants to have a second appraisal done or a second reconsideration of value after the first VA appraisal, they can't charge the veteran for that. So that's what that one means. Lender's inspections, except in construction loan cases, loan closing or settlement fees, document prep fees, preparing loan papers or conveyance fees, attorney services other than for title work. Now, this is another confusing one because it sounds like you can't charge a settlement attorney fee, and that's not the case. What this one is specifically speaking to is that if for whatever reason the lender hires an attorney on the lender's behalf to do something in regards to the purchase or the refinance of the home, they can't charge that to the veteran. Now, certainly settlement agent or settlement closing attorney fees can be charged to the veteran, which you saw in the allowable category, but just don't confuse the two here. Photographs, interest rate lock-in fees, postage and other mailing charges, amortization schedule, passbooks, membership fees, interest fees, nothing like that can be charged to the veteran. It has to be included in that 1%. Escrow fees or charges, notary fees, commitment or marketing fees of a secondary purchaser, trustee fees or charges, loan application or processing fees, fees for preparation of the truth in lending, fees charged by loan brokers, tax service fees. So again, just as a reminder here, all of the fees that we just covered are considered unallowable, meaning they should be included in the lender's 1% flat charge. However, in some cases, if the lender is not charging a full 1% of the loan amount, typically as their origination charge, then some of these fees can be charged. So let's take a look at some examples in the next video that will help make this clear. So that concludes part 2 of this 3-part video series. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out part 3. And for more tips and videos, please visit campusmortgage.org to look for their weekly mortgage video tips designed for all mortgage professionals, including underwriters, loan officers, processors, closers, and post-closers. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.